Neurodivergency. Autism spectrum disorder is one of the many types of neurodivergency, one that often gets ridiculized because of its quote-unquote childish reputation, and to that I say, that's just stupid. You may think that autistic people are weird or that because we're special needs, that gives you the right to patronize us. But no, we're just human beings like you are, and we deserve the same respect you'd give to anyone else. So, autism. What even is it? Autism is a difference in how your brain develops that affects how you see and experience the world. It is indeed a type of neurodivergence. Autism spectrum disorder, ASD, is the medical term for a diagnosis of autism. There are 3 levels of autism, and I have the first level, also previously known as Asperger's syndrome. It is the type of autism that people either know as math smart or as... let me check my notes here. Gobby retro slop object show cringe. Amazing. Just great. Sometimes people with this type of autism may get told that they're not valid or that they're not even neurodivergent because they only need some help. So that suddenly means they aren't autistic at all. But that's exactly why autism is a spectrum disorder, ranging from the mild to the severe. It is quite literally in the name, and if you can't get that inside your head, I think you're the problem. So, let me get to my actual experience as an autistic child, which isn't much. I don't know how to explain it because it is a lot. Ever since I was little, I've always been a little peculiar. I was very smart, extremely so for my age. I learned how to crawl and walk quicker than usual. I was overall a very independent individual. I got an academic award in kindergarten even, as I used to help my classmates a lot with the things they didn't understand. All of that, of course, translated to my late childhood and preteens, where I was still smart, if not even more intelligent. Though I began to be more subdued. This is in part due to the fact that I began developing generalized anxiety disorder, also known as JAD, around said age, but I will dedicate another video to this topic. But basically, I began struggling socially. Subconsciously, I always felt that there was something off about me. It never quite reached the surface, but it was there. A gnawing concern that I wasn't like the other children. Not in a cool way, but in a weird, quiet kid way. I used to obsess extensively over topics, to the point where I deprived myself of needs such as sleep, water, or food because of it, and I didn't really know how to express my feelings, or how to name them even. I also wasn't very fond of touch. In fact, I would avoid it as much as possible, except from those that I really loved. Even then, I'd be quite uncomfortable with any sort of physical affection, and I had tastes that were considered rather unique. But school began to pressure me more and more, until one fateful day in 7th grade I finally broke down. The untreated autism, the anxiety all caught up to me in a very messy string of events. And in that process is exactly where I found out that I was autistic. After many sessions with my psychiatrist and some studies, the hypothesis came. I had Asperger's syndrome. At the time, I didn't know, but being aware of what was quote-unquote wrong with me, of what caused me to act the way I did, would be a lifeline thrown my way. I didn't have to wonder anymore. I didn't have to feel bad about the way I was anymore. I could just be. It doesn't matter if I'm a little weird to other people, and so what? The world would be very boring if everyone was the exact same. I still struggle with my social skills, and I can be quite awkward to talk to. I have my hyperfixations and sensory issues, I prefer solitude over company, and I'm still very intelligent, though generally needing some help to get along with school and such. I also have low empathy and mask my feelings, alongside many other symptoms that I do not remember at the time of writing this. But I'm much better than I was before, after getting my treatment for my anxiety. I've been able to accept and embrace the fact that I am autistic. Despite it being a disability, I know that it doesn't make me any less human, any less worth of my dignity, and I hope you can accept that fact too.